What's happening, everyone? TomGorian here, and welcome back to episode 25 of the F123 Haas to Glory. We are nearing the end of season 2 of the Haas to Glory, and we are, in this episode, going to be doing the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. Before we get into this episode, here are the championship standings. We took back-to-back victories at Belgium and also at Hungary, which means we now have a 32-point lead in the Drivers' Championship, with only, 5 more races to go, including this race, the Italian Grand Prix. We have a bit of a cushion in the Drivers' Championship, and also in the Constructors. We need to start catching up to Red Bull if we want to try and gain some ground against Red Bull in the Constructors. We begin this episode with just a ending to the department meeting. I pretty much skipped the meeting with the durability or sponsorship, whatever it is, and we now come into Monza with over 3,500 resource points. However, we can't really do anything as far as upgrades, and that's going to be significant to the car until we unlock spec level 3. And as you can see right there, we've got some unknown upgrades. But we begin this episode upgrade wise with a DRS activation upgrade that will give us less drag when it comes to the DRS, and just make the DRS more powerful. And we're going to spend most of our resource points here for the Venturi wind tunnels. That will give us minor downforce, it's a minor rear downforce upgrade that will be applied for the Italian Grand Prix. And I believe we're going to upgrade, are we going to upgrade anything? No, we're not, as we enter the bit of the summer break after the Belgian Grand Prix. And as you can see, we got a couple of upgrades coming. We got the intercool upgrade on the 23rd for the powertrain. That's on the car, so I think that's an engine upgrade or a ERS upgrade, I'm not really sure. And then as we're going to advance in the timeline, we've got some new parts to the car. However, Aston Martin and Red Bull have caught us up, and now they have the best car. There's confirmation of the intercooler engine power upgrade. That is on the car. I believe that was one of the manual upgrades that I chose for the car before this episode. And now I'm just trying to see which upgrade I can do next. But as you can see, we haven't got that many upgrades left. We've only got the Venturi tunnels left. That's 1 day left. That's the rear downforce, and then we have to wait until we get spec level 3, which means we can get the major and even ultimate downforce upgrades. There is the tunnels upgrade, and now we have this department event. A charity has asked us if we're happy to patronize their cause. We're going to decline, because if we decline, we are pretty much going to have that meeting with the aerodynamic team. But it's the Italian Grand Prix. Here we go. So here we go, qualifying for the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. And if you've been following the series along for all this time, you'll know how bad of a qualifying car this car actually is. And for some reason, I just can't get the car to where it needs to be in qualifying. Our first lap we do there is an 18 flat. That puts us 7th place, but as we go into the last 26 seconds of qualifying, we're down in 15th. So it's just one of those things where I don't know what's wrong with the car when it comes to qualifying, but we just simply don't have the pace over 1 lap. I don't know if that's an F123 thing, or if it's a Haas thing, or if it's an AI thing where the AI are extremely overpowered in qualifying on this game. But yeah, in order to get pole position, we need to make up at least a second, and I don't think that's going to happen, because the AI, they're doing literal like 17 ones and 17 flats. So pole position is not going to be, it's not even in the reach today as we enter qualifying. So as we end sector 1, I made a bit of a mistake and lost the back end on the exit of the first chicane as Perez. There's a 17 flat, so that's confirmation that we are pretty much a second slower than the AI as we enter the back straight here at Monza. And it hasn't been really the best of laps. We're just over a 10th and a half up as we enter the Ascari chicane. And as you can see, it's not really gone that well. We're gaining slight time, but it's not the time we need. And I found that the AI are quite overpowered in Sector 2, and I tried to go a little bit more downforce, but I don't think that's worked. We've gained another 10th on the end of Parabolica, but as we cross the line now, it's going to be a 17-8, and it's not really good enough. It's 14th place here at the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, and for a car that has probably arguably the best chassis and the best engine, and as you can see, look at that, 8 attempts away from Verstappen on pole. Lando Norris has a 5-place grid penalty, and our teammate Kevin Magnussen 2 attempts ahead of us, so that's not good for the race. And yeah, this might be the beginning of the downfall in the World Championship, so it's all to play for as we enter Monza for the Italian Grand Prix.
A difficult race awaits these drivers here in Monza, but glory awaits too at the Italian Grand Prix. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Albon, Gasly, Magnussen, Norris, Ocon, Leclerc, Stroll, Thomas, Russell, Tsunoda, Joe, Bottas, Sargent, De Vries, and Liam Lawson. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. The last few races have been a bit rough for them, unable to get a clean run. That's got to have some effect on their confidence, surely.
Certainly confidence is an important factor. And every time you're involved in an incident, it's not just the car you damage, but that confidence as well. But all the top racing drivers are able to tune that out when the race gets underway and focus on the job at hand.
Welcome to the race here at Monza for episode 25 of the Haas to Glory, the Italian Grand Prix. And yeah, we're not starting where we needed to be here at Monza. The strategy is going to be a one-stop. We're going to go from the mediums to the soft tyres. However, that was the wrong strategy to go for, and you'll see why later in this video, why the medium softs isn't the best strategy on this track or even in this game. I'm lowering the tyre pressures and just lowering the suspension just a little bit, and as you can see, there is all the AI. Hamilton, Albon and Gasly on mediums, myself on mediums, and then Bottas and Sargent also on the medium tyres. Everyone else is starting on the softs, so the AI will have the advantage in the first half of the race. However, we've got a lot of ground to make up, and we seem to perform well in comeback races. So, let's do this.
The formation lap gets underway here at this historic track in Italy. Some monumental moments in history have come from right here. Will we be treated to another today? We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
That lead in the World Championship that we have could be completely evaporated today if we don't score any points and either Red Bull wins today's race. For some reason, the car just doesn't have the pace in qualifying, and now we've got to pretty much try and make pace up in the race here today. Make sure to like, share, comment and subscribe for more F1 23 Haas to Glory content as we reach the end of Season 2. But here we go at Monza for 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go at Monza. Stroll has had an awful start. Leclerc has had a terrible start, so has Lando Norris. He tries to cover us off. We're going to switch to the left-hand side as we go down in towards the first chicane, and we're going to overtake Gasly, Hamilton, even Ocon as well on the soft tyres and the AI. They seem to have this ability where they just cover the inside and you can just lunge simply around the outside. And that's what we've done. We've already made, 8 positions already on the first lap. So a dream start for us, but an awful start for Charles Leclerc and also Lance Stroll. as well in the midfield. As we enter the second chicane there, we lose the back end just a little bit, and Ocon is all over us, but we do defend from him quite nicely. Entering the second lap here, there's 3 wide going between Magnussen, Albon, Sainz, Perez there. And Magnussen and Albon, they're ghosting for some reason. I think it's just because that corner's too tight and they don't want to crash, so the game just ghosts them for whatever reason. However, as you can see, Lewis Hamilton goes around the outside in towards second chicane. We're going to try and somehow outbrake him in towards this chicane, and we do defend that position quite nicely. So now it's all about trying to charge back through the midfield to try and somehow get a podium in today's race. And it begins with my teammate as Ocon tries to overtake us. We're going to try and overtake Magnussen as we go down in towards 10-1. Magnussen did have a problem, my engineer literally told me. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a DRS failure or a ERS failure. I don't know what it is. But Magnussen was slow and we had to get past him. So, lap 5. And there's a common trend with this race where the AI, they battle each other too hard to the point where they just hold each other up. And look at the top 2. Like Piastri and Verstappen, they are already at the second chicane and they're already, I'd say, 3 seconds ahead of the pack. As we enter the second chicane, we're going to overtake Alex Albon in the Aston Martin. And that is P5 here at the Italian Grand Prix today. Again, I just don't think that the win is on because our pace in qualifying wasn't really that good. And even in race trim, we were just losing at least 3 attempts in the second sector. So for some reason, the AI just get godly exits out of the Lesmos as we get a replay of George Russell again retiring from the Italian Grand Prix. And that's a disaster for Mercedes. Another engine issue for the Brackley Works team. And Mercedes have not had a good season in 2024 in the Haas glory. As we now cut on to lap 6, we overtake both Carlos Sainz, and we're going to try and overtake Sergio Perez with the DRS, and there's nothing that Perez can do. He's helpless in that situation. We're going to overtake Perez, and that is us into 3rd place. I believe last season we started from, what was it? Was it last or like 16th or something? And we went on to get 2nd place in the race. So hopefully we can try and get some type of performance out today. But I mean, look at the gap between us and Verstappen. That's nearly 5.5 seconds within the space of 10 laps, all because the AI just want to fight against each other and just lose so much time to each other. And it's just, they just battle in corners that you don't really want to lose time in. As you can see, I'm not even planning on overtaking Perez there, but he goes defensive for some reason, and that just forced me to overtake him. Even though I didn't want to overtake him, he just left the outside wide open, and he defended for literal nothing. So, lap 8, as we enter the Ascara chicane, Perez goes back through with the DRS. We lose the back in there twice, and that could have been a disaster for us here at Monza. That's an incredible save, and I somehow was able to keep it from the wall. I don't know how I was able to survive that escape, but again, lap 11, Perez tries to fight, and I don't want to fight with Sergio. As we make contact there, I lose the back end there, and we're just losing time. We've just lost an extra 2 seconds to Verstappen and Piastri, and as you can see, look at the tyre wear already 30% on the mediums. So we're going to do a 1 lap undercut on our strategy. We're going to come in for the soft tyres, and yeah, tyre wear around here is very, very bad. Well, it's not, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's definitely more noticeable on this game than it was on last year. When you raced on Monza last year in F1 22, there was no such thing as tyre wear, and you could pretty much go long if you wanted, or even do an undercut and not have to worry about tyre wear. But with this game, the tyres do go off a little bit more quickly on F1 23. So we're going to box and come out the pit lane. Look at that, Hamilton and Norris going through us right there. And I don't know how Hamilton has not got a penalty for that, because simply put, he crossed the white line, and that is very dangerous. So I'm expecting the FIA to give him a 10-second penalty for crossing the white line when a driver was coming out the pit lane, because that's what they would do in real life. But no need, because I've already overtaken Lewis Hamilton on the start of lap 17. I got a little bit wide there on the first chicane. I do make it back though with a good exit, and now we are back on the away again. However, I just couldn't get away from the pack of Norris and Hamilton. I'm trying to catch up to Sergio Perez because Perez is the guy I'm racing with, not Lewis Hamilton. However, Hamilton is just overtaking me, and as you can see, I get a great exit, and I'm all over him again. So the overtake he made is literal pointless because I'm just going to get him back on... I'm just going to get him on the exit of the second chicane. And here you go, once again, down the inside, in towards second chicane. We're going to force him wide, and that is P6 again in this race. And for the last, I'd say, 20% of the race, nothing really happened. I was stuck in no man's land where I was trying to, you know, just catch up to Ferraris and also Perez, but I just couldn't catch them. But Oscar Piastri is out of the Italian Grand Prix. He has an engine issue. Another engine issue for Mercedes. Wow, Mercedes engines are really unreliable in this year's game. That's like, it must be like the 6th or 5th time that a Mercedes engine has blown on the end of a race. So McLaren's there. That's Carlos Sainz. He's on the grass, and Charles Leclerc's pushed them wide, and we're through into P4 here at Monza. And now, what was looking like an unlikely podium might be a last lap podium here at Monza. All we have to do now is try and a good exit on the final corner and see if we have enough straight line speed to defend from Charles Leclerc. However, this was the wrong time to pass him. Now, so here's the thing. I was focused that much, I forgot that this lap was the last lap. I thought this lap was the penultimate lap. And as you can see, as we exit the Lesmos, I'm not really going to put up much of a fight because I'm thinking it's the penultimate lap and I'm just going to get him on the, quote, next lap. However, Charles Leclerc gets us back in towards Ascari. And yeah, I did not notice until Verstappen crosses the line. Now, Verstappen wins the Italian Grand Prix, and then I realise, oh shit, it's the final lap, and I can't do anything about it, and I've just thrown away a podium at the last lap of the race. I mean, from 14th to 4th, it's good, but we've lost points to the Red Bulls today.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
A very painful Grand Prix, to say the least. We just had no pace today against the Red Bulls. In qualifying, 14th, 8 tenths away from Max. And then in the race, thanks to the AI battling with each other, I lost literally like 7-8 seconds to them, and there was nothing I could do. Either boxing or trying to, use DRS. And Verstappen, after Piastri's retirement, was just in a world of his own, like he's been all season long in real life Formula 1. But yeah, we've lost the best part of, 13 points to Verstappen today after this video. And yeah, not good. Not good. It's a Red Bull 1-2. And Red Bull extend the lead in the Constructors, 26 points between us and Sergio Perez in the drivers and us. And Max is 39 points. So that is that for episode 25 of the F1 23 Haas to Glory. The next race will be the Qatar Grand Prix. I can't wait for that. And yeah, 83 points to Red Bull with 4 races to go. Thanks for watching episode 25 of the Haas to Glory. Make sure to leave like, share, comment and subscribe for more F1 23 content. Check out the playlist and also the best video for you if you want to find out what happens next. So, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave like, share, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. In a bit.
HBO